Welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy. And this past just over a week has been super hard. And I am a little behind. But this is my creation for hashtag Scraps to Treasures, which is hosted by Sherry at Turquoise Dreaming and Maria at Maria's Miscellany. And I will link both of them in the description box below. And for the month of August, we were to make, out of scraps, a paper bag. And I had everything set aside that I wanted to do for this, and then it just didn't happen because things happen. Yeah, and I'm just going to leave it at that, but I'm having a rough time right now, and I appreciate your prayers and your support, even though I can't really go through or into any details on much of it. The first thing I did, since it was a bag, I thought, you know what, I probably want to have a pattern. And so I am trying to gently deconstruct this brown paper lunch bag. It's not easy, so I'm just going to fast forward you through this struggle. All right, so a paper bag is, of this type anyway, is basically a big rectangle. And what I want to do is I want to make a bag that is pretty much this size, this shape. So I pulled this piece of tissue paper out, and I am actually going to, let's see, I am going to cut around the edges so that my tissue paper is exactly the same dimensions as this paper bag was when it, or is right now, so that it'll be the same dimensions when I put it together. Now, I am not going to delude myself. I know that I'm probably, not even probably, I am going to have to come back in and square up corners and stuff. But for right now, this is what I need. What I'm going to do is something that you've seen a little bit of before, but I'm going to do it in just a little bit different way. This is my box of scraps right here, and I probably won't use this big piece of scrap. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure why it's in there, because I can definitely use that. So we'll just take that out. And what I'm going to do is cover every bit of this with my scraps, and I am going to do it with a method that I call dry decoupage, and it simply involves a glue stick. This is my favorite glue stick. It is Scotch Create multi-purpose glue stick. It's a permanent glue. It is not repositionable. So you have a very limited time. If you need to pick something up and move it, it's either too bad or you better hurry. So I am going to just start with, sorry, I'm having some trouble focusing right now. I'm just going to start, actually I'm going to start right in the middle because I know this is going to be the front of my bag, and I think I just want that to be right in the front of my bag. So I'm going to glue this. And I'm not going to worry about getting a glue paper out or anything, because any glue that gets onto the tissue paper, it doesn't matter because it's all going to get glued anyway. So I don't have to be extra neat. Now I do want to be careful that I don't rip my tissue paper while I am gluing. But I'm not worried about making a mess. All right, and so there's the first one. And I'm just going to, I should probably even just close my eyes and reach into the bag and see what comes out. And then just put the glue on and put it on the page. Well, that could be pretty cool right there. Now the parts that are facing up are going to be on the outside of my bag. You can make your decision as to if that's what you want for yours, or if you would prefer that the part that you glue down. With the glue stick, it doesn't matter which way you do it. You'll be able to see it either way. Oh, that's pretty neat too. And I actually like that green with that. And I'm going to overlap a little bit on most of my pieces, just for stability for right now. It's not going to be the only stabilizing, what's the word, not force, the only stabilizing product, technique, I don't know. Anyway, it's not going to be the only one of whatever it is. Because after we do all this, there is another step. Now I will link the video I was talking about earlier below. I think I mentioned it earlier, on how I make paper. And it's not like making paper where shredding it all up and everything. This is just making paper using, let's see, is it tissue paper or clothes making pattern paper or anything like that. Any thin kind of paper, even vellum paper, and using it to create other papers. And so I will link that below. I will suggest that you don't use anything that is too thick. Like if you have thick cardstock scraps, I would not use them unless you're going to use it like as a center. I'm dropping things everywhere. Unless you're going to use it as a center portion, I would not suggest using it on this, because you're going to have to be making creases and folds, and sometimes that cardstock paper, heavyweight cardstock paper, just does not want to help your cause very much. Sometimes even book pages can be a little too thick to be helpful. Let's see, this is a napkin, so I'm not going to use that. Let's see what else I've got. Oh, I have this butterfly. That's getting a little close to the bottom. So I may be saving, I'm going to save this for another one. See. Once I'm getting out past this center portion, I'm going to stick to smaller pieces that will fold easier. And so I'm going to finish covering all of this tissue paper with my scraps. I'll put you on fast forward again, and then we will go on to the next step. I'm going to pause here for just a second. Make sure that you get along your edges especially with a large piece, not a little skinny piece, but try to get a large enough piece that it can handle the edge of it being manipulated so that you can get it glued. Now this is a piece of tissue paper, but I think I will hold off on that because I'm not sure if it would withstand what I was just talking about. I don't know that it would be strong enough. And I think if I was a little more careful gluing, I wouldn't go through so many glue papers. I had to quit gluing on there because it was getting too sticky because I was too messy. To the point now where I'm trying to see where my pieces will fit without too much overlapping, because if you overlap too much, I want a little bit of overlap for, like I said earlier, sturdiness, but I don't want too much overlap because then I won't be able to fold it the way that I need to. And that's important. This is actually something that I got in some Happy Mail, I believe, from a friend. This book page with the napkin applique on it. Let's see, there's another piece of napkin. Everything goes into my scrap bin. Everything. This one had a built-in corner, so I'm just putting it in the corner, and I am planning on putting something wider on top of this part right here. Well, that was the wrong side. Oh well, it'll work. It'll be fine. Not a bad word, I just didn't want to use the word cigar. and get that part taken care of. And since these are both thin papers, it won't make it too thick for that fold that's going to have to go right there, that crease for the side of the bag. Actually may be closer to the back of the bag. There we go. Took care of that. And let's see, this other half can go right here. I'm looking for some more colorful scraps, but I don't. Oh, here we go. Here's some more from that same friend. Let's see. I'll see if I can use this. Okay, and then this can go right there for that corner. That works really well. Okay. All right, so I need a piece that big. Let's see what I've got in here that might be interesting. I need a piece there. Let's see, long skinny piece is needed where? Right there? Yep, I think that would work right there. This is a piece of a map. Here we go, here's some color. This one's too thick. And we'll just put this one right here. Nope, not right there. Yeah, that'll work right there. To cover up that bare spot. And this, let's see, I've got a bare spot there. We'll put that little piece there. And let's put and then this one. Oh, can go right there. Needs to go right there actually. Oh, there's some more of that pink. Do I need any more of this? No, I don't think so. Oh, still need here and up there, a little corner up there. All right, I think that is everything. Now, the best way I think to check and see if you've got it is to take your whole sheet and go over to a window. Oh, see, I just lifted it up and I noticed I've got this big spot right here that doesn't have anything on it. So let's see if I can tear this down to fit that spot, because I really don't want to cover up very much of what's there. I mean, I really like my numbers. First, let's tear off all the white and see what that does for us. Right there. And come down this edge a little ways. Actually, probably all the way across. Let me get back on screen here so you can see how I'm doing this. It's just making a master board right now, except for you're making it on tissue paper. Does that help? Because I don't know how well I have explained what I'm doing, because my brain is mush right now. Let's see. I think that'll work. And see just that little itty bitty lifting up of so very I mean, not even an inch off the work surface that I'm on, showed me that I was missing that great big spot. Now I am going to take it over to the window to make sure I'm not missing any little spots. I am pretty good. All right, so you've done this. Now our next step, you'll need another sheet of tissue paper, because you can see on the back here, see how all of that looks, and you can see everything. I mean, you could even read through it. So I'm just going to get another piece of plain tissue paper, or I have some tissue paper that is this print with green leaves, and I think maybe it might help to tone down some of the bright colors and tie them all in together better than just having this whole great big mess. Now, it won't be a scrap, but I am using my scraps, so I think that it still works. And this is just Dollar Tree tissue paper. I think it's Dollar Tree. It might be Hobby Lobby. Might be Hobby Lobby. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to do that or if I want to have the white. I think I want the white. So we'll just put this back, and maybe I have a scrap of white. There we go. And this is Dollar Tree tissue paper, because I just took it out of the package, so I know it is. Pretty sure that other one is. Yo, the other one was from this same package, so yes, it is Dollar Tree. All right. I think that's going to work. Now, the tricky part on this, I'm not going to cut this one to size, because the way that I have to do it, first of all, I'm going to wrinkle it so that the creases that were in it don't show as creases, but just as the whole part of it. And you will notice on this paper, I don't know if you can see it on screen, one side is shinier than the other. You want to put the shiny side down, because otherwise it will interfere with, I don't know, it may not interfere with the look that you want. I want a matte look, so I'm going to put the shiny side down since I want it to look matte. And how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to start this is, I'm going to put glue across about that much of the top. And I'm still using my glue stick. Apparently that wasn't glued down all the way. All right. And I'm not going to line up exactly on the edge because I want a little wiggle room, but I am going to get pretty close. Like about there, okay? And I'm just going to smooth that down. Now, I don't mind on this if I have the wrinkles. I mean, remember I wadded it up. So I'm obviously not worried about wrinkles. I'm just pressing those wrinkles in. And then I'm just going to continue doing that, working my way down until I've covered the entire sheet. So it's a form of a masterboard, like I said, but it's a little bit different than probably what you usually do to make a masterboard. Oops, see, I went against the napkin that wasn't glued all the way down, and I didn't realize it. So there we go. And I'm just coming down, like I said, 2 or 3 inches, and it's probably better to go this way. I don't actually know which way, if it makes a difference. I know I'm gentler going that way than I am this way. And again, I'm smoothing that down, not trying to smooth all the wrinkles out, just Just getting good contact on all of it. I'm going to continue this and I'll come back when it's all done. All right, so what you have now created is pretty effectively a sandwich with tissue paper as your bread and your scraps as your fillings. Now, while I get some of the ink and glue and such off of my fingers, not sure what that was. I think that was thread from something or other. I don't know, it may have been paper fibers. Could have been paper fibers. That would make sense, considering everything I was doing to it. All right, so here we have our sandwich. It's not quite dry. If it feels cold, the glue's not quite dry yet. I can see some places where I missed the glue, but it should be okay. And I am going to actually, about an inch all the way around, I am going to glue down the edge of the paper because I think that'll help to strengthen it. I think strengthen is the word I was looking for earlier when I kept saying stabilize. Anyway, I'm going to do that around all four sides. All right, so here is my paper, and it's funny how working with scraps can sometimes give you more scraps. I can't figure that one out. It's so weird. All right, so let me get my scraps out of the way. All right, so now, Yeah, I'm gonna have to square this up, but I'll do that with my paper bag on here. We're going to use our paper bag as our folding guide. Let's see. Actually, this one corner is the only one that's out of square. All right, so we're going to use this to tell us where we're going to fold. So I am going to, first off, refold the bag, and I'm going to fold my tissue paper sandwich with it. Let's see. Am I folding the right direction? Yes. No, I'm not. Okay, so this is the outside of the bag. And this is, and so I want this to be the outside, the inside of the bag. So I needed to fold that the other way. It's okay. Basically what we're doing is marking. I'm going to get a ruler. We are using this as our folding guide. And we're just going to kind of like, like I said, I can't think of words today, and I'm going to make sure that this is folding straight. My scoring board. Oh my goodness. All right, so that one is over, and then line that back up and put my ruler down on here and fold just like that. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the other side. I'm going to fold it over and make sure that my top at least is straight. It looks like my bottom is a little off. Maybe in real life you would say your bottom is a lot off, but you don't. But now you know that about me. Okay, and still off. All right. And keeping it on this side, we know that we have two others that are going to fold to the upward direction. So let's get that aligned again, and then we'll come over to this piece, put the ruler right there, and use that to help you fold up on that one as well. And I'm trying to get the top. The bottom so much, I'm not so much worried about, because I can realign it. I can trim it all off easier than I can the top, at least in my head, okay? All right, so let's get this lined up again. There we go, just like that. Put the ruler down on this fold, because this is the one that goes that way. All right, now we're going to turn both of our pages over. So we're going to turn this one over. We're going to turn this one over, making sure the top and the top are still going the same direction. And now we are going to fold these in. And it should be pretty much halfway, and I can tell by lining up down here that it is. Should be about halfway between those two fold lines. And then this one the same. Right. So we'll move our pattern paper. All right, still doesn't look like a bag, I know, but it's getting there. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to put all of my folds the direction they're supposed to be folded. And these should line up pretty close, and you can kind of scooch them a little bit. You've got a little bit of room to do that so that your edges are lining up, because this is the gusseted portion of the outside of your bag. And these two should overlap just a little bit, and they do. Just like that. All right, that was a little hard. The next part should be a little easier, I think. Because when you refold the bag, you can see that it started like this. And then we are going to have to make a fold, let's see, right here. So let's go ahead and put this on top of this bag the same way. And we are going to try to get it straight on there. There we go. So there's that one, and I am going to move this up and give that a nice press. This is going to be the trickiest part. I will just tell you right now. Because we are going to open the bag back up, and we're just going to be folding up right there, okay? So we're going to open the bag back up. We'll put this back on top, and we can see where our fold is going to be, okay? Right there. I am just going to put my ruler down there so I've got a nice straight edge that I can use as a guide for my fold. I'm going to fold that up. And we should be able to line up our creases to help get that folded evenly across. Your creases should match up. Wiggle if you need to, because we have used so many little pieces and 2 layers of tissue paper. It's a little more pliable than if you were, say, using a piece of cardstock to do this. All right, now we can unfold that again. And let's see, we're going to go like okay, so this is the trickiest part, all right? We are going to that first fold that we made, going up. This one right here. And this part needs to go up here. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. You can see a triangle on your paper. It'll go from here. You know what? I'll get a marker and I'll just draw it. Okay. So here is where you are going to be making the gusseted bottom of the bag. And you have 2 lines here where you have folded across all the way, these 2. You want to draw a triangle from this line and this line where those 2 meet, and then the front and this part of your bag and this line. So these 2 lines that you folded up, you want to connect these 2 And then you want to come up to that top one and down. Connect these two. Come up to that top and come down, okay? So we're going to fold our sides in again because we've already made our marks. Making sure that we're still aligned because we've been fiddling around a lot, or at least I have. Trying to make sure that I could show you how to do this in a way that wasn't super confusing. All right, so this is the top fold line. Here is the bottom fold line. We're going to go up on the top line just like that, okay? Then you are going to fold on that bottom of the triangle that you made. You're just going to fold on it and then crease. And it's going to look like a boat. Okay, I'll do that again on this side. You're right here. There's the bottom of your triangle. You're going to fold on that line and crease. And it took me a whole lot of finagling, and I did not have square sides, so it doesn't look quite even, but it will be fine. Then you're going to fold this back up on its top line, okay? Or the bottom line, I'm sorry. You're going to fold this back up to toward the top, and then you're going to fold these lines down toward the bottom. And this step might actually be easier if you were already glued, but I wanted to be able to show you how to do that. So I'm going to take it apart and show you again, okay? These are all the folds that we already made. These are the two sides that come in. This is a fold down, fold up, fold down, and then a fold down, fold up, fold down, okay? This is our top folded line across the bottom. This is our bottom folded line across the bottom. Here are the triangles that are connecting the points that I showed you. And now you are going to fold those sides in again, because remember, you got those gussets on the side. Okay, we're going to fold up on the top line, and then we are going to open it up and where that bottom triangle line is, and it will be very helpful if you draw that triangle in. You're going to fold on that line, and then you're going to go ahead and keep folding it until you are flat, and you should have a boat shape or a canoe shape. All right, then you're going to bring this up, and you'll bring this down on their fold lines. Now I would prefer to have my seam behind this, so I'm going to fold down and then up. All right, so I'm going to get my glue because I didn't bring over the correct glue, and we'll be finishing this bag up. You want to put your glue on those inside triangles here. You don't want to go too far to the inside or to the outside. And then the same here, inside triangles. And across. And I am going to straighten this up across the top. And because most paper bags seem to have this right here, which I think is for ease of pulling it from the stack of paper bags, just going to take my scallop punch here. You don't have to do this. You could just circle punch, do whatever you want. And I'm going to try to find the center as close as I can. There we go. All right. And that's a nifty little piece. So here is my hashtag Scraps to Treasures bag video. Oh my goodness, it was so hard. My brain is just not working. I've had so much going on, and it culminated in the death of a friend on Sunday. So I thank you for bearing with me. I thank you for your patience. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, because I know that at times this got a little wordy and got a little wonky, and even more so than usual. So thank you for joining me today. Check out the others who posted for hashtag Scraps to Treasures. And as always, be kind. Bye.